access the rear panel, simply use a flathead screwdriver. Just pop it loose. And just kind of pops right out. And there is the factory wiring harness. This is the passenger side. I did the driver's side first just so I could show it to you right the first time. Okay, first step is to take a 10mm deep socket, take out this point, and take out that nut. So those nuts hold it in, sorry for the background noise. And then you're going to disconnect these wiring harnesses here and up there. You'll pull the light bulb out. I'll show you in just a minute. Pull this out there. And you just twist that one, which is your reverse load. And up here, I don't know if I can get the camera up there. Likewise, you twist it, pull out it. It is the factory turn signal bulb. You're not going to need that bulb, so just go ahead and yank it on out. And just put it somewhere where you can toss aside later. Alright, so these little bolts here, they can be tricky to get to. So, I'll put the camera down for just a minute. Alright, now you got your factory lights unplugged. Just a 10mm socket here. Break that loose a little bit. Get that bolt coming out. Now the trick is here is you just want to loosen it. You don't want to try to get the nut all the way out with a wrench. You'll notice it's got a little leadway through the thread. And that's to prevent you from accidentally dropping this down in the bottom down there in the abyss, which can probably be a pain in the ass to get to. So definitely once you break it loose, pull it, get it out by hand. And save you the trouble from having to try to fish or something else. Same goes for the top one up here as well. See, voila. Not there. Now this is a reverse light. I will replace this with the LASFIT LED unit momentarily, but for now I'll leave it right here. Now go and get this other nut out, and then we'll be on our way of removing the tail light. Or tail light. All right, one more time. Just the top bolt here. Just break it loose real good. You want to get an extender too. I used a teeny tiny wrench with a 10mm extender, long deep socket 10mm, and the regular wrench. You have to use a deep socket because otherwise the bolt won't go down far enough. And like I said, I apologize for the background noise about it in the city. Anyway, you pull the light off. All the factory wiring stuff is here. And there's what your tail light is sending us out. You'll notice that there's holes here. There's where your bolts that go in. Then you have this hole. And then you have this little nub thing right here. The little nub thing fits right there. And those extra holes have these little studs on them right here. So that kind of gives you an idea. Typically I start from the inside, or what I did with these two is that I pulled in, popped it loose from the inside a little bit, edged up here, pulled it back just a little bit to come off this and this. Just gotta be careful. You don't want to force it. You want to be gentle and just tug, tug, tug until eventually you can get the pop loose. And same thing after that, you just kind of grab this from the side and just yank, kind of pressure on it back. Like I said, don't get too aggressive. You don't want to break anything. But it's very simple to get off. Once you get off, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right. You'll notice in the Anzo lights that comes with a regulator. After you get the taillights mounted, we'll mount this onto the facade, probably about right in there somewhere. And that's what I did with the driver's side. But that's to keep the LEDs from hyper flashing. I think it also works with the sequentials. But regardless, so this is the light that we disconnected earlier that plugs in to that light, which we won't do. We won't have that yellow bulb again. So at this point, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna remove this adhesive. Now I'll keep this, because I'm selling my lights, stock lights to somebody here in the Chicagoland area. So I'll keep this intact, but you want to have to remove this to get to your lighting harness. So get that off of there. We'll set up out of the side. Just don't want to lay it down on something so it doesn't lose the adhesiveness. Now I do have to switch over some of the components. That's just part of the deal. Move your reverse lights here. Popped it out of the hole there. That will be replaced with the LASFIT LED turn unit. I'm sorry, reverse brake unit. The turn unit's already built into the Anzo, but this is the reverse lights Anzo LED, so a little bit brighter. I'm gonna switch that in. I'll have to double check this once I get it in to make sure it works properly. As with all LEDs, if it doesn't work, you have to take it down, turn it 180, put it back in, and then it should work then. I've had to do this on the headlights as well and other applications. So anytime you put an LED in, the first time, if it doesn't work, take it back out, flip the bulb 180 degrees, put it back in, and it should work after that. So we'll do that here momentarily. But for now, I'm gonna get the wiring harnesses off of the old light, and then we'll start with the new. There you go. Once it came out, you just had to snake it through out of a couple of points here. You had to take this little pinch point there, a couple of pinch points here, and the little white piece right there goes in right there, and the big white piece hooks onto this, and of course the reverse light again comes out of that hole right there. So that is the factory tail light assembly, fully disassembled, soon to be going to a good home. All right, so I'm getting ready to put the stock light wiring harness in with the other one. I'm going to slide this little thing in here, this little pinch point, just kind of helps hold it. This, of course, is the reverse light. We'll put it in for now. I'll have my partner come down and turn the truck on before we bolt everything down, just to make sure it fits. This little light here will slide into there until it clicks. This one here should rest. If I can get it on there. There we go. Now it will connect to this light that's still here. It runs down from the factory. So the big white thing. Okay, these two of course come with the go to the relay, so we'll leave them on. And this bad boy plugs into the sequential turn signal module that's built in the Anzo. Another reason why I want to crank this up after I turn them in before I bolt everything on is to make sure that it works. If not, I would simply flip it 180 and put it back in. So we'll see how it works. Get this in, get it tested, and then we'll show you the final product. This on. I like to try to look to where that little nudge is and where the factory little nudge is. I might not be able to show this to you on video. I'm just gonna line it up and push it in first. I felt it nudge in a little bit, you know, and just to get it seated in good before I go screw down. I'm sorry for the bad camera work. I am working one-handed here, so without a stand. I'm definitely more of a shade tree garage type deal. Just want to make sure that little hook nodule goes in on the inside of that. Keeps this thing from sticking out farther than it's supposed to. And of course we'll go in and tighten things up a bit. So that is what it looks like while it's sitting on but not plugged up. So we'll go in here and get everything plugged up and we'll see how this bad boy turns out. Loving it so far. Plugged up. Just going to wait until see if everything works, and then I'll push this back up in that hole. Everything's in over here, so if I have to take it out, I'll also mount the resistor up against the wall over there. I'm also, like I said, wait to see, make sure everything works, and then we will be done. All right, well, we have everything back in place. Everything does work. The lights plugged in. You can see some of the residual from the lights. The lights are turned on right now. You can also see that the the reverse light's in. These are the turn signal sequentials up here. This is the basic light. And I can't remember what this thing does. But anyway, plus I mounted the reservoir, like I said earlier, right here on this wall. Out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. So everything has tested work. I'll get some pictures of the after effect. It's still pretty daylight right now, so maybe I will wait a couple hours to do this and get all this edited and uploaded for your enjoyment. I hope you appreciate the video. Like I said, please excuse the background noise and the camera handling. I'm very much an amateur, but I just wanted to share this with you because I have not seen many Anzo Toyota 4Runner installation videos as posted yet. So we'll see how this goes. Thank you. Have a good day.